Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. We've got not one, but two Monday Night Football games to talk about today. And to help me do it, the proud father of Cam Scatterboo himself, Scott Bogman, is here. What's it like to watch your son run all over the Eagles for 1 million touchdowns on Thursday Night Football, Boggs?
You know, I mean, my firstborn, Alejandro Kirk, has been on a great streak in the playoffs for the Blue Jays, and my other son, Cam Scatterboo, is handing out CTE to all the Philly defensive players. So, yeah, it's been a great time being the big man on Cam Scatterboo for the entire offseason. You were on the train too, man.
I was right behind you, man. Look,
I scooped you up early in that one.
You were the conductor. I was right there, man. I told you. Well, it was the game against Texas where it just went over the top. And I'm very careful. I never text Bogman during Texas games, let alone college football playoffs. So I had to wait because I knew if I had anything to say, I had to wait till that game was over, and then it went to overtime. It was a whole deal. But we had a long conversation back and forth about him after that, and it's incredible to watch, man. And it's the vibes of the environment. It's for sure. And we've got vibes today for these games too. And we're going to talk about these games. We've got Buffalo, Atlanta, Chicago, Washington. So make sure you are downloading the Betting Pros app. Make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel here. Stay with us all season long for NFL because we are here to help you cash. Look, we got good times going on here. Plus, we've also got a giveaway. We've got the Nick Chubb helmet giveaway right now, signed from pristineauction.com. And if you want to win this bad boy, I'm going to tell you how to do it. The first thing you do is you go ahead to bettingpros.com/contest. You fill out that little tiny form there, and then you download the Betting Pros app. You leave a review of the Betting Pros podcast. You subscribe to our social media channels at Betting Pros on X and on TikTok. It's singular, no S today. And Betting Pros NFL on the IG. The more actions you complete here, the more entries you'll receive, and we'll be announcing the winner, guess where? Right here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you turn on those notifications so we can let you know if you are the winner of the new big prize here, the Nick Chubb helmet. All right, Boggs, let's start with game number 1 here. And by the way, at the record show, Scott Bogman 3-2 for Thursday Night Football. Very good, very good. Unfortunately, my boy let me down at the tight end position there, but that's okay.
Theo, come on.
Theo let me down. You know what? I should have known better too. That it's like that was really fun. Now it's gonna just all be Scatterboo. I should have known at home it was just gonna be Scatterboo.
Yeah,
but now I know.
mean, because everybody on their card had the Giants dominating this game and running away with it.
But the one thing we talked about, I am not comfortable with this Eagle 7 at all. Like, I am not. We talked about that. Go back and watch. Check the receipts. I was on the Giants side of that football game, but I was not comfortable at all with the Philly points. I thought Philly might eke it out, but, and they might have had that turnover in the red zone not happen in the fourth quarter there. Maybe things change a little bit there. The dynamic, you start to feel a little like, oh no, like where are we going? But It's in the past now. All we can do is look ahead to the future. And the future gives us the 4-1 Buffalo Bills against the Atlanta Falcons coming off a bye. Atlanta is a 5-point underdog at home, -4 for the Buffalo Bills. 49.5 the over, 50 is the under. You're getting -205 on the money line for the Bills and +198. So the Bills licking their wounds after a big home loss here, huge one, to the in-division New England Patriots. So for this one, I'm just going to stick with the over in this. I don't love the Buffalo Bills defense. I've made no qualms about that. I like Atlanta rested off a bye and starting to play a little better in that last game leading up to the bye. So hopefully we get a rested Bijan Robinson running amok all over that Buffalo defense. And if he does, that forces Josh Allen to play up a little bit. So give me over 49.5. That's where I am. Where are you at for this game, Boggs?
Man, I'm hemming and hawing in this game because I think at -3, I want Buffalo, but at +5, I want Atlanta. So I do think it's going to be a nice tight one. Atlanta being at home and coming off a bye week, it's hard to pick against them. I'll probably just take points in both these games, honestly. But the first one, I was on Buffalo. I think if I can get 5, if this expands anymore to 5.5, 6, I'm definitely taking Atlanta. And I think it might. Buffalo's obviously a very popular team right now. But, Atlanta being at home and coming off a bye, 2 weeks to prep for this team, they should have a better effort than a lot of teams. And most NFL games are pretty close.
Boggs, think about this. Let's say that they had pulled the rabbit out of their hat and they beat the Patriots, right? What do you think this number would be?
Probably 7.5.
That's what I think too. So yeah. I think you're getting value here with Buffalo. So I think people are overestimating a little bit in this line what happened last week to the Buffalo Bills. So I think there's value with Buffalo. I just don't want to bet it.
Yeah,
because
I
again,
don't
that
want to
defense
take
scares me.
Atlanta either because we saw
No.
them lose 30-0 to
Yeah.
Carolina, right? Like, this is a wishy-washy team right now. Michael Penix is a young starter. He's going to have hits and misses. I do think that I do like your overplay too, because I think that this Buffalo defense can be taken advantage of right now.
Yeah. If you put the Bills, by the way, -4.5 with the over 49.5, you get plus 245. That's an interesting way to just kind of, if you're just going to go all in on this game, that's the way to do it. Now, game number 2, we have the Chicago Bears 2-2 off their bye against the Washington Commanders, who got Jayden Daniels and got back on the win column last week. The Commanders are 4.5-point favorites at home, which makes sense. You're getting plus 4.5 on the Bears. That's the best consensus line at BettingPros. 49 for the over, 50.5 for the under, plus 200 on the money line for the Chicago Bears, minus 215 on the money line for the Commanders. I'm trying my best. No McLaurin for this game again. I'm trying my best to close my eyes.
Didn't practice on Thursday.
Well, I think the Debo questionable thing is like, look, we just need to put Debo in bubble wrap because we can't afford to lose anybody else. I'm sure he's going to play. I'm not too concerned about that. But again, I don't love this one. I'm more apt to go Buffalo in the over than I am to touch this game at all. But if I had to lean on this one, my lean right now would be towards Washington with the 4.5, just because I feel like the Bears make mistakes and they're their own worst enemy at times. And with the fact that the Washington Commanders run the football so effectively, they're leading the league in rushing this year. People don't realize that as a team, and that was with Daniels missing some games. I think they can control this game a little bit more and take advantage of some of those mistakes. So that's my thought. But again, don't love this. I definitely like the other one more for the over. That's my favorite of these two games. But Boggs, where do you stand with this one?
I feel like this is a field goal game. So if you're going to give me more than 3, I'm going to take points. So I'm going to take the plus Chicago. 4.5 with Chicago. They are coming off a bye as well, a couple weeks to prepare for this game. But I kind of like an overplay in this one as well. I might be a little over happy here, but we have a lot of injuries in the Chicago secondary. Obviously, there are injuries for Washington's offense as well, but I think Jayden Daniels, like you said, is going to be able to have a big game. I like the fact that we get Ben Johnson for 2 weeks to draw up plays for this game as well. So I like a nice back and forth shootout here. So give me the over in this one. I also take Chicago plus the points.
All right, let's start with the props here, and it's always easier when we get 2 games to choose from. Let's start with Bill. Mr. Croskey-Merritt himself, Tom Brady's new favorite running back. 63.5 is the number for the rushing yards. And I was toying around with this one. The projections have this very close, Boggs, but you're taking an over. So where's the confidence coming here? Because obviously the projections are very spot on here with this line. So what is it about that Bears defense you think there's a hole in where we can exploit it the other way?
Well, I think there's 2 things. Number one, Grady Jarrett looks like he's not going to go in this game, but also the Bears run defense is 31st in yards allowed per game. They're 28th in run defense grade on PFF. Also, Chris Rodriguez probably not going to play in this game. And, in 2 of the 3 games that Bill has played with Jayden Daniels, he's had much better rushing totals than he had with Mariota. So I think that, Jayden being here, plus being down a couple weapons, plus a bad Bears run defense, that's 3 strikes, you're out. Let's go get this over. Let's get it.
Okay, so the over for JCM here in this one. Bijan Robinson, I've got a Bijan bet coming later in the show that I'm very enamored of. But this rushing prop is 73.5 for him, and you're taking the over. I know it was a slow first game out of the gate for him, but after that, we've been pretty close to this number. So let's talk about the game log of Bijan Robinson and arrested Bijan Robinson against the Bills defense that, frankly, has trouble stopping a lot of people.
And this is the last week I feel like you're really going to be able to take advantage of the front 7 for the Bills, right? Michael Hoyt, Larry Ogunjobi, 2 guys that they signed, had that 6-week suspension. So this is it. This is the last time. This is the last game they're going to miss. So you're still down those 2 guys. Ed Oliver's banged up. TJ Sanders looks to be out. They are definitely less than 100% if they play in this game. And what do you do when you are across from Josh Allen? You run the ball, you slow the pace, you keep the ball away from Josh Allen. So I think Bijan is going to have tons of carries in this game. Obviously, he's explosive as well. So if he's getting a bunch of carries, plus it's still a banged up and suspended front 7 for the Bills here, I think Bijan's going to eat.
All right. Speaking of Josh Allen, he's going to have to pull his team up by the haunches, as he always does. The number is 228.5 here on the passing yards. Do we want to go over or under that for Josh?
I mean, I want to go over this. I feel like this game is going to be a little shootouty, right? I mean, I think that the Buffalo defense last week was smoked by New England, and that was in 25-29 a possession for New England. So this might need to play a little bit more point for point. Atlanta pass defense has been strong, but after Mayfield, they faced J.J. McCarthy in his second start, Bryce Young, and Marcus Mariota. That's why they have good statistical, they look good in the stats and they grade well. It's you got to kind of dig a little deeper and see that strength of schedule, right? So I think that Josh Allen will be able to pass all over this team, and I think this number is set too low.
Yeah. Let's get to the next one here on the list here, which is actually DeAndre Swift. Now, it's interesting because coming out of this bye, I was really looking forward to seeing what Kyle Monangai might be able to do in this backfield. Maybe a little bit of a shift there, especially since Swift has not played well. That touchdown he had kind of masked some of the bad play in the last game we saw. But unfortunately, Monangai picked up an injury this week, so some questionable thoughts whether or not he's going to play. Again, we've got more time, but we're recording this Friday morning. So again, we don't know exactly what's going to happen here, how this backfield does shake out, but there could be some value here with Swift if indeed Monangai is out to jump on early, Bog. So let's talk about it.
100%. I mean, the real thing here is that look, just Monangai is probably not going to play, and this is he didn't practice on a Thursday after a bye week. That's a really bad sign. Like if you're coming off a game and you want to be rested because you're playing Monday, sometimes you use Thursday as a veteran rest day instead of Wednesday as a veteran rest day, right, Joey? But this is not a veteran, and you're off of a bye week. So I don't think Monangai is going to play in this game. So I think DeAndre Swift gets a lot of run because Roschon has been on this roster and they've given him nothing. He hasn't touched the football yet. So he will definitely get touches in this game. But I think, if he's that low on your depth chart, kind of like DeMarcado was for the Cardinals before everybody got hurt there, I don't know how much you're going to trust this dude. So I love Roschon. I think he's a great running back, a power back for sure. My boy from Texas, but doesn't seem like Ben Johnson likes him. So 2 weeks to prep for this game. I think we're going to see a lot of nice plays here. I think Swift can get this on like 10 to 12 touches. I mean, they're still giving up Washington 4 yards per carry, even though their defense has been strong. So you give him 12 carries, 13 carries, he should get this, and I think he gets that with no Monangai in this game.
Yeah, I think it's the volume. It's just a volume play right now for him here, potentially in this one. It's smart. All right, DJ Moore is the next one here, 39.5 receiving yards. This one, again, kind of tricky. It's been like the Roma Dunze show, so can we get to this low number? I mean, every week we look up, and it's less and less for DJ Moore, it feels like, and still, we have to hold our breath to see if he can get there. Can he get there for 39.5?
I think so. I mean, look, I know that coming off a bye, maybe Luther Burden sees a little bit more in this game. I know people are concerned with that, but projections are way over. Every projection I saw was way over this for DJ Moore this week. And if we're putting Trey Amos on a Dunze, right, because he's played the best. So if he goes to cover their best wide receiver, it's going to be Marshawn, the ghost of Marshawn Lattimore, covering DJ Moore here. And I know DJ Moore hasn't had a great year, but he's still way better than Lattimore at this point in his career, because Lattimore is 88 of 112 graded cornerbacks in coverage this season. So giving up one of his worst completion percentages in his career. So I think that DJ Moore is going to be open in this game. Like we said, we like this to go a little bit more point for point with some guys being hurt in the secondary for Chicago, and Chicago coming off a bye with 2 weeks for Johnson to drop some plays. I think that this is going to go point for point. I think a lot of wide receivers eat in this game. It's all the guys for the Bears and whoever the hell plays for the Commanders.
And remember, Prop Bet Cheat Sheet is available to help you with all the props. BettingPros.com/props. It's the way you find the best value there on the board. Takes the projections, takes the lines, gives you the best possible house to bet it in. That's the whole point of the Prop Bet Cheat Sheet. So use the tools there. It's fantastic. Love the Prop Bet Cheat Sheet. That's what we use here, and we're telling you to do the same thing that we're doing here. Get out there, download the app, sync your sportsbooks for free. And speaking of sportsbooks, don't forget Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. They are the sponsor of our show. Sign up today, place your first bet of $5, and if it wins, you'll score 150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. That's just one more reason to check out the Hard Rock Bet app, and it's why everyone gets so many stars to it all the time. And of course, it gets such great ratings everywhere. And again, it's the last show before Sunday, so there's all kinds of fun streaks going on there at the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. So Cleveland hasn't covered the spread on road games in 7 straight games. That's music to Scott Bogman's ears there. DeAndre Swift has scored a touchdown, by the way, in 5 straight games against Washington. So use some of these streaks with Hard Rock Bet and the Stats Hub right now. And don't forget also, you can get profit boosts for football parlays every day through Monday. You get back-to-back college football profit boosts today and Saturday, plus profit boosts from the Sunday games and Monday, another one as well. There's no promos, new promos every single day. So no matter what you end up listening to, when you end up downloading the app, when you end up opening it and making your bet, Hard Rock Bet's got something fun for you. So again, download the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app today. Place your first bet of $5, win $150 in bonus bets, plus your winnings only at Hard Rock Bet. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. It's the SG Joey P, and I've gone stone cold. Week 1 was great. I'm a week 1 wonder. That's it. But I'm going to try my best to just put the head down, keep working. That's all I got to do.
Not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about
here to talk about the past, talking about the future. Bijan Robinson.
You hit 2, though. You're still up units for the whole year.
I am, but it doesn't matter. I want to hit every week. I want to hit 1 every week. Yeah. I know that's ridiculous, but it's just it's the perfectionist in me, Boggs. I just want to hit it. I want to be there for the people. Yeah, so
me too.
It's gonna be SG Joey P with a lowercase p pretty soon if we don't get out of this tailspin. So let's take Bijan Robinson to get in the end zone. If he doesn't score against the Bills, I'll just be shocked. Then I want to give myself some more outs here. 112.5 rushing plus receiving. So this gives me options here. So if he has a big day rushing the football, great. If he has a big day receiving the football, great. If he has a big day period all over the place, great. I've got a lot of options there plus the touchdown. Then I'm going to add Deebo Samuel over 60.5 receiving yards at -114. I do think he will play. If he does not play, I would just pin this down to the 2, to the Bijan Robinson 2 stats here. And you're not getting plus 349 then. But when you add in Deebo, I think you can make that work here for plus 349. And I do think he will play. So that is the SGP of the week here for Monday Night Football. And of course, we got the SGP tool still going on. Same game parlay tool over on BettingPros right now. It helps you correlate some of the bets you want to make and how to spin them in one game into an SGP. So it's a really fun tool there on BettingPros, which brings us to our touchdown calls. And I'm going to go look for Zach Ertz to bounce back here. Jayden Daniels is back under center. Ertz has been quiet. I think we get back to business here with Zach Ertz and he gets a tutty. And I like the number 2 plus 210. Boggs, where are you going for your touchdown call this week?
I feel like the touchdown calls are juiced to hell this week. Like
they are.
Bijan
they want people their action on Monday. It's nobody. They don't want anybody to have action on Monday.
Deebo is bad. I just went to double up. Khalil Shakir got 9 targets last week, starting to lead the Bills. Let's just go with him to find the end zone and double up our money here. If we're thinking this is going to be a nice shootout game, both these games hopefully are nice shootout games, then I think we can get there. So let's go with Shakir for a touchdown to double up some money here.
You know, last year the Bills didn't think they had enough of a wide receiver and they traded for Amari Cooper, which did not work, right?
Right.
So do you think they try that again this year where they go, you know, we still don't have enough of a wide receiver? And if so, who do you think that would be? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think they're going to do it, right? Because I think we see Kincaid, who's a guy I want to bet on a lot in this game in particular, but he's banged up and may not play. I think Kincaid is developing. I think they're getting way more from Coleman than they had last year as well. So I don't think they are going to make the move. If they do make the move, I think they trade for somebody big. I don't think it's like a limp move like Amari Cooper. I think you go after somebody much bigger, trade a first or second round pick and find a solution.
Well, look, this is your window here. If you're the Bills, you know, Josh Allen's at his prime, you know, you're still in a division that's relatively soft. Although my Patriots starting to knock on the door a little bit, getting better there. So
Miami's better than people give him credit for, and the Jets are worse than people give him credit for. It seems like, you know, and no one was giving them much credit either.
Will the Jets be allowed back in the country if they go 0-6? That's the question. Let me know the answer to that question down in the comments below. Will the Jets be allowed back in New York in the airport if they lose another game here and go to 0-6? It's a yes or no, but still, we'd love to hear from you. And again, go win the new Nick Chubb giveaway we got going on right now from pristineauction.com. And of course, don't forget to download the BettingPros app. That's smarter, not harder, and make all your bets at Hard Rock Bet. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your Monday Night Football games, plural. Good times.
Good luck.